Hello, everybody. If you've read my work, you already know dialogue is my bread and butter. I love it. So when I see shitty dialogue advice floating around the internet, I take notice. In a big way. I've made a million videos about how to properly write dialogue, and I plan to make a million more. But today I am talking about the absolutely worst dialogue advice I've seen around the internet, and let me tell you, it's bad. It was hard to narrow it down, but I am listing the 10 worst pieces of advice I have seen regarding writing dialogue. A sneak peek, the 8th and 9th pieces of advice are the most common, unfortunately enough. And the last piece of advice is the most outrageous, and ridiculous, and ungodly, and every other horrible thing in this world. Let's dive in, shall we? Before we get started, I wanted to give all my love to Milanote for sponsoring today's video. Milanote is an easy-to-use tool that allows you to organize all of your projects and ideas into visual boards. It's not the same as traditional software, which typically exists in a linear document. Instead, Milanote works kind of like a studio wall or a poster board, which makes way more sense because creativity and brainstorming are not linear. Milanote allows you to take your mess of ideas and move them around however you please, which is perfect for organizing your thoughts, for brainstorming, or for acting as a creative hub for whatever you're working on. I literally use Milanote every single day. I am obsessed with this platform. I use it for planning my YouTube content, for mapping out my newsletter, and of course for brainstorming my writing. I have a board dedicated to my current work in progress. I use it for world building, I use it for character building, and of course I use it for thought dumping dialogue. If you want an easy to use platform that will help you structure your novel, help you build your work, and organize your dialogue, I highly recommend Milanote. You can even share boards with your critique partners and solicit comments and feedback. And even better, you can try Milanote for free. $0. Nothing. Nada. If you're ready to write some dialogue that doesn't suck, sign up for Milanote for free using the link in the description below. And if you're really hyped about them, check out the Pro subscription. That's what I use. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. The Save Your Sister is available in audiobook right now. So if you love dark fantasy and you love romance, you like some stab and some kiss, this is the book for you. Definitely check it out. And if you are new to Audible, you can listen to TSS for free. I have it linked below. Now it's time to break down the 10 worst pieces of advice when it comes to crafting dialogue. Friendly reminder that this list is completely sarcastic. Please, please, please do not implement any of these tips. They are the worst. They're terrible. Don't do it. But these are actual tips that I have come across on the interwebs, and it pains me that some people take them seriously. Number 1, new character, new voice. This is actually great advice. Every single character should have their own individual voice. But a lot of writers take this one step too far, or 10 steps too far, and you know what? More power to them. Sure, everyone has a different voice, which means no two characters can share any traits at all. If one character is funny, they're the only one allowed to be funny. Damn it. If one character cusses, they're the only one who gets to cuss. And if a character happens to tick more than one box, God help them. Characters don't get to be layered. We're looking for one dimension only, and the dialogue needs to reflect that. On a complete opposite note, number 2, all the same voice. Because your style matters. I've seen a few writers, particularly newbies with an inflated sense of self-worth, spouting the idea that your writing voice needs to be reflected in all aspects of your story, including the dialogue. This is true when it comes to aspects like the amount of dialogue, the importance of dialogue, or the type of dialogue that your readers can expect. But the argument here is that your voice needs to be reflected in the dialogue itself, making every character's voice your voice. Okay, it's always a great idea to write a self-insert. Why not write 20 of them? There are plenty of positives to writing your voice over and over again. First of all, it's easy. You always know what you're gonna write. Who cares if the readers can't determine one voice from the other? Who cares if the dialogue is repetitive and boring? And who cares if it's not remotely realistic because people are fucking different and speak fucking differently. Number 3, follow all the writing rules. All of them. It's not like vernacular is a thing that exists. Look, you're writing a book. That means things like syntax and grammar matter. And last time I checked, every single person speaks with proper syntax and grammar at all times. What even is shorthand or slang? If it's a rule in your narrative, it's a rule in the dialogue. Period. Will the dialogue sound clunky and unnatural? Obviously. Will it completely strip your characters of their humanity? Of course. But rules are rules. Even if the dialogue is supposed to mirror actual speaking patterns. Minor technicality. Number 4, write the accent. Want to offend an entire nationality while simultaneously annoying the shit out of your readers? Well, have I got a solution for you. It's called writing out the accent instead of simply describing it in the narrative. You know, like an idiot. If your character has an accent typically based on race or region, it makes sense to describe the accent in the narrative so your readers can imagine how it would sound. It doesn't make sense to completely misspell all the words so your readers struggle to decipher bullshit dialogue until they get so frustrated that they throw the book at the wall and give you a 1-star review. But that's what you're gonna do anyway. You don't want to be logical or correct, and you certainly don't want to be polite. Who cares if people feel like you're turning their nationality into a caricature? You're an artist, and artists are allowed to be assholes. J.K. Rowling deemed it so. Number 5, no cursing. OMG, if your character curses, like no one is going to read the book. No one in the real world cusses. It's not like curse words are common vernacular used in everyday life. This is a really easy issue to solve. Replace the swear words with equally powerful words like, for example, dummy, sissy, turkey brain, big baby, no good rotten duty head. These exclamations pack such a punch. They are perfect to shout in the middle of an argument, a heated battle, and especially a near-death experience. Who hasn't yelled, "Gee golly gosh," when they were fearing for their life? Look, I know curse words are realistic and relatable, but fiction isn't about relatability. It's making sure that your grandma can read what you wrote without damning you to hell. Number 6, more cushion for the pushin'. I've seen the advice that every single line of dialogue should be cushioned with narrative. Every single line. Wow. Don't get me wrong, in many cases, narrative plus dialogue creates a visceral experience. Except when it doesn't. I've read books where every single line that a character speaks is punctuated with some kind of description or, God forbid, an info dump. Talk about drawing out a simple conversation for eons to the point where you can't even remember what they were discussing in the first place. And you know what? That's my kind of storytelling. I want dialogue to move at a snail's pace. I want to lose track of the discussion at hand. I want to be lost in boredom and confusion. Please, by all means, interrupt this character building moment and give us some useless world building. Number 7, do not use the contractions. If you want to write a book, you should not use the contractions, even if a character is speaking human words. This is important if you are writing a character who speaks in a proper manner. For example, a princess. If you remove the contractions, they will sound like they are speaking Old English. You do not need to utilize actual Old English, because that would require work. As you can see, when you remove the contractions, the dialogue is very good, and it is very realistic. People speak in this way all of the time. It is a normal way to talk, and I am a fan. Number 8, ejaculate. You know what makes dialogue even better? A fancy dialogue tag. Said is dead. No character should be saying anything. They should be exclaiming, because the exclamation point didn't make that clear already. They should be replying, reporting, objecting, or wailing. That's what adds passion to the story, certainly not the characters, the plot, or the dialogue itself. I mean, really, if a character isn't ejaculating, are they even speaking at all? Use the most colorful dialogue tags out there. It'll showcase that you are for sure the best writer around in the 2nd grade with access to a thesaurus. On a similar note, number 9, always use a dialogue tag. Every single line of dialogue requires a tag at all times. So what if a reader can differentiate the characters based on their voice? So what if the tags slow the pacing of the conversation? So what if repetitive tags turn the conversation into a robotic mess? It's a rule, guys. Okay, actual real talk. Who said you always have to use a dialogue tag? I'm genuinely curious. I see this advice all the time and I have no idea where it came from. It is so bad. And number 10, don't write dialogue at all. Did you know there are actual writers giving this advice online? Dialogue is for amateurs. The pros just build worlds and plots and don't allow their characters to speak ever. At all, period. Holy shit. I've seen writers trying to follow this advice, so they trim their dialogue down to 2 or 3 words because those were the only words that were necessary. Never mind the fact that that particular character is known for being loquacious and dialogue is all about human speech and however that person fucking talks because people actually fucking talk. But no, you can't write dialogue. It cheapens the work. It makes it clear that you're not a real literary author, you're a genre author. And who wants to be a genre author? You write entertaining stories and you earn the most out of all fiction writers. Thank God you found me. I just saved you from a life of loyal readers and money. So that's all I got for you today. A huge thank you to Milanote for sponsoring today's video. I have told you guys I am obsessed with this platform. I use it every single day. So if you want to craft better dialogue, if you want to brainstorm your story, if you want to structure your novel, any of that good stuff, definitely check them out. Even better, you can try Milanote for free right now. I've got a link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. The Save Your Sister is available on audiobook right now, and if you are new to Audible, you can listen to it for free. I got it linked below. And be sure to follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, BookBub, and of course, you can tweet me at Jenna Moreci. Bye!
It's me, Pippa. Have you subscribed to Jenna's channel yet? Oh, you must. It's so much fun. She talks about writing and heroism and romance, and sometimes she says very naughty words, but I rather enjoy it. Subscribe to her channel and ring the bell.